Here we are again, my friends. So, question for you. Do you have a hero/heroine complex? Chances are, if you have clicked on this video to watch it, you most definitely have a hero/heroine complex. I sound weird saying heroine. Anyways, so what is a hero/heroine complex? I'm sure psychologists have discussed this in far more detail than I will, but plain and simply, it is the wanting to alleviate suffering and others' experience. Caesar is a hero. He's right here down below me, so if you hear a whining dog, that's my boy Caesar. But it is the desire to alleviate suffering combined with the necessary components of action to alleviate others' suffering. Sounds great, doesn't it? It sounds like, oh, this is fantastic. Now, this is what we're going to discuss. Why the hero-heroine complex can be detrimental, specifically to your overall health. There's two different types of heroism or heroinism. Now, those being the desire to help, but also the misconstrued behaviors of fixing. So in being a hero, in being a heroine, you can not only have the desire to alleviate suffering, but oftentimes you take on the responsibilities of others' suffering. First starts typically in childhood. Obviously, like most other things in our adulthood, it starts in childhood. So I don't know why you've chosen to incarnate with this kind of complex, with this kind of mental prerogative or this inner desire, but you have. So you're here now. Great. Now how can you make sure that your heroism does not interfere with your own health? That's the ultimate task. That being the desire, well, the shifting from fixing to helping. Now, what's the difference between fixing and helping? Fixing is the misallowance of allowing others their journey. Helping is giving the necessary tools to help others along their journey. Now, those lines get kind of blended, and often, sometimes when you become a helper, not a fixer, you seem a little heartless because you are no longer attached to the outcome of the individual. Example, I have a client who wants to lose weight, right? That's my profession. I'm an exercise physiologist, I'm a personal trainer, so I deal with people wanting to lose weight frequently. Now, if I am helping them, I am giving them the meal plans. I'm teaching them the appropriate movement patterns, how to squat appropriately, how to push up, sit up, everything, so they're going to prevent misalignment, so they're going to prevent injury, but also benefit them. I'm helping them. I'm giving the necessary tools, the information, the knowledge, the basis for them to succeed on their own. When I become a fixer, I'm doing all of that, plus I'm investing in their outcomes. And if they don't achieve their outcomes, I also take on their suffering and become emotionally turbulent, emotionally frustrated as a result of that lack of achievement. Now that's a pretty easy topic, right? Pretty surface issue. When it becomes a really detrimental problem to be a hero or a heroine in your life is usually when it's more attached to people you care about deeply. So I care about all my clients. I love all my clients. But when you become attached to, say, a brother, a sister, a parent, a grandparent, a lover, a friend, a child, and this, I think, happens a lot of times in parents. Well, not all the time, but you can see it more often in parents, I think. Whereas the attachment to the outcome affects the parent's health or the hero's health. rather than allowing the child or the person asking for help, or sometimes not even asking for help, but just inferring help. And the hero takes over their responsibilities as their own. As a hero or a heroine, this kind of energy piles up. It piles up on the psyche, and it starts embedding itself in your body, and it shows up as disease, right? Disease, or it shows up as an illness, or it shows up as you're constantly tired, which then leads to a lower immune system, which leads to you holding more energy in your body, not able to fight that off, and you getting sick, whether it's just a cold or a flu or consistent habitual low immune system. So it's just really added stress for the hero. So the hero typically experiences the most stress, this complex, if you identify yourself with a hero or heroine, experiences the most stress in their life possible, more so than anybody else, because they take on not only their own issues as their own, but they take on everybody else's issues as their own. I know from personal experience, I gave myself cancer twice by doing this. And I really didn't even need to. I just thought I should take over everyone's issues as my own and fix everyone else's problems. Even as a kid, my parents, my siblings, my whoever, friends, like they were my issues for some reason. And half the time those issues were just made up issues in my own mind. However, nonetheless, we still take those on. So that's when it becomes very detrimental, is when you start holding on to another person's outcomes as your own, and that attachment that's associated with them, that energy pattern, that energy signature starts binding up in your body, and it'll show up as an autoimmune disease. It'll show up as all types of skin problems. It'll show up as you will start taking on that other person's energy, and sometimes it becomes a self-hatred kind of battle where you start feeling like you're not good enough because you can't fix the other person, right? And so then a lot more issues start showing up, right? A lot of autoimmune issues start showing up when that starts happening. So how do you get away from being a hero or heroine? Or how, the real question is, how do you go from a fixer to a helper? How do you go from an enabler to an empowerer? That's the real task. The true hero doesn't fix anyone's issues. The true hero empowers them to fix their own issues. Even in stories that we're told, and these great epics, and these gigantic, the Odyssey, and all these different, just great stories that we've heard. The hero oftentimes takes on the responsibilities of the whole, right? They take on the responsibility of their whole state, their whole country, their whole town, their whole whatever. But when the hero's done with that, and they're recognized as a hero, what often happens? They're alone. They have nothing more, to deal with. They have no more obstacles to overcome. They're lonely. And we don't ever see them dying old and sad and depressed and reliving their high school years. So when we're human beings and we're living a human experience, which often sometimes can be mundane and very, mundane is the best word. That hero complex and that idea of taking on the whole, it becomes a whole lot less magical. So coming back to the empowering part, what you have to do is a repeated reprogramming of your mind to release the attachment of somebody else's outcomes. Now, is that easy? Fuck no. That shit is hard. Because if you have already come in as a spiritual being with a desire to alleviate suffering, we could say from the whole world, and you see that suffering is not being alleviated, you take it personally, like you're not doing enough. You need to do more. You need to be more. You need to meditate harder. You need to go out and get to the grindstone and whatever. But that just leads to all those health issues that we were talking about earlier. So it's a repatterning of your mind. and an acknowledgement of the divinity within everybody else. Heroes often see themselves as higher than the rest, right? It's my responsibility to take care of these lowly people. Even though we're not fully acknowledging it, the hero will often take that mindset. I am above, I've climbed higher, I need to pull people up with me. And that's great, right? Except for the fact that we're really, if we're pulling people up, that's fantastic. But it's not because we're higher, it's just because we've climbed a little bit more. The issue is you have to give them, instead of pulling them up, you have to give them a ladder. Or get back down to where they are. That doesn't sound that great. Let's take this. Get back down, show them the path that you climbed and what you did to get strong enough to climb that path so that they can traverse it on their own. Yeah, that sounds better, right? Like if somebody's broken poor, don't get broken poor and then try to make money again. Give them the tools necessary to enable them to get rich by demonstrating or explaining what you have already done. So, empowerment, not enabling. Somebody asks you, like, if all my clients asked me to cook their food for them, and I would go crazy. Like, there's no way I would have the time of day to give them all the food. It would be great, but I'd probably have 2 clients because I have to charge them a shit ton of money. So enabling is the lack of acknowledgement of the divinity within the individual. And that's why you're trying to fix them. Empowering is the acknowledgement of the divine perfection, the God self within everybody. That way you are helping them. So, there's a whole lot more on this topic, but I wanted to go really broad. If you are a hero, which more than likely you are because you've made it 13 minutes into this video, if you're a heroine, start to self-analyze and ask yourself if the behaviors that you're engaging in with the people that are closest to you or the people that you feel you need to fix, or the frustrations that you're having from the people that you're dealing with on a daily basis, ask yourself if you are trying to fix them. And if you are, ask yourself how you can start to help them. If you've already given them the tools necessary to help themselves, there's nothing more you can do. If they consistently ask for help, you can help them. But if they're just constantly really asking for fixing, you have to let them go in your life. You cannot enable enough people to fix the world, but you sure as hell can help enough people to fix the world. Yeah, not even fix the world, help enough people to help the world. There's no amount of action, there's no amount of meditation, there's no amount of thoughts, there's no amount of angelic channeling that you can do to fix everybody. But those who are coming to you oftentimes need fixing, and it's your task as a hero, as a heroine, to remind them of their inner power, of their inner divinity, of their ultimate truth, of the reality of who they really are, which is God. It's an extension of God. And so remind them through your words, through your behaviors, and lack of enabling who they are, so that they can feel empowered and that they can traverse the journey on their own. I think I missed a few questions that I was asking in the beginning, but yeah, I hope you guys like this. Anyways, if you made it 15 minutes in this video, congratulations, you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. Caesar's behind me. He's gonna go jump. Watch, he's gonna go in front. Oh, there he goes. He's gonna go fight the fence. The dog's next door. So I love you guys. Thanks for watching as always. And give yourself a fucking break. Give yourself a fucking break. Breathe. Stop taking the responsibilities of everyone else on your shoulders. It's not your responsibility to fix the world. It's not. It's your responsibility to be the best version of yourself and to continually practice so that you're getting better in whatever areas you feel like you need to on a daily basis. But reminding yourself, just like you would remind anyone else, that you are a divine manifestation of the God self. You are God in expression. You are the eternal divinity that we've been seeking. The kingdom of heaven is within you. And where the kingdom resides, so does the king and the queen. You are the goddess. You are the God embodied. Remind yourself of that on a daily basis. Remind yourself that you have the tools necessary to go forth and be the best version of yourself and help whoever comes into your experience. Take the weight off your own shoulders. Breathe. Do anything necessary to remind yourself of that. And you'll be good to go. I love you guys. That's enough for today. Talk to you later. Bye.